Or I've adopted them, I'm not sure which, it's kind of a mutual thing. So tonight we are hosting this Photo Voice project because it's fun. And because it's such a gift and a challenge to experience life through the eyes of someone else. And when someone else comes from a different culture, it's even bigger. You know, it might be, and it is, photographs mostly the things that are around us all the time, but having the stories of the girls is just such a good thing, such a good thing. So I'm inviting Neela to come as the first speaker. She was trying to convince Sana to go first, and Sana said, no, I need to learn from you. Sana's a diplomat. So Neela, if you would like to come up. Neela is she's a PhD candidate at UBC, and she maybe will tell us a little bit about that. And she gathered these girls and did this awesome thing with them. Thank you, Neela.
Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. On the name of Allah, most merciful, the most gracious. I'm so honored and so humbled by this experience. I am in a place of faith and think that what brings us here is a faith that can be bringing us together. Faith is not a source of conflict, is not a source of wars, but faith is a bridge that can build a better world that we are dreaming for our kids, for the next generations, and for even the people who come late to this place. This project emerged from my ethical issues with my research. As Sharon introduced me, I'm an academic, and when I started working on my PhD, I was asking myself, I'm working about Muslim youth, so what am I offering these Muslim youth? I don't want my knowledge to be just put in a book that maybe only my family and my friends will read. Which, most of the dissertations are read by 12 people. If you are lucky, you'll have 13, 14 people, reading your PhD dissertation. When I entered the school and I saw this group of young people, I'm a Muslim woman, but I'm not a refugee. I'm a Muslim woman, but I speak English, I have no problem. I'm a Muslim woman, but I'm financially stable, able to live close to kids, and also have my kids go to good schools. When I saw these girls struggling with the language, struggling with the settlement, struggling with expectations, struggling with education, struggling with even the meaning of what a Muslim woman in Canada can look like or could be? These are the questions that I asked myself. Unfortunately, I didn't have a lot to offer these young women. The only thing I could offer to them is that your education will lead you to a better life. That Canada can offer us great chances to be the women who we want to be. And also, another option is, don't worry about speaking your mind. Don't worry about expressing your opinions. Don't worry about saying, I am an unapologetically Muslim woman, feminist, struggling, surviving, and I need my voice to be heard. So don't be shy of who you are. Don't be ashamed of who you are. Being a refugee is a stage in life. It's not a destiny. These young women, their perseverance, I learned a lot from them. I learned a lot from their resilience, patience, strength. I learned a lot from the love they can give to each other. When I started the project with them, the project initially was intended to be with Muslim girls. And we had a nice, wonderful young woman, Gimbar. She's a Christian. Because the project emanates from my feminist position as I will push you forward. I will support you. And I will clap and I applaud you when you do great. And when you fall, we all fall. Since I'm seeing a lot of females here, sorry for the men, our struggle is huge. Our purpose of this project is solidarity. How we bring bridges together. How you look at me without thinking 100 times I'm the oppressed woman because I'm wearing that. Nobody obliged me to wear that. It's my decision, my choice. And also, I want you to look at these women with their different attires. What they have in their minds is more important than their attire. As women, let's move beyond our complexities of what we call white feminism. You liberate me when you listen to me. You liberate them when you give them the opportunities they deserve. You liberate them when we think that we are all in the struggle in the same space. I'm very happy that I am here. Thank you, Sharon, for insisting to have this opportunity. Thank you for all the people who supported the refugees. I know that there are so many churches and so many people who sponsored the refugees. So this is an invitation to see the individual experiences of these young men, young women, and how they think about their identities, how they think about their faith, how they think about displacement. We need more effort to move from our comfort zone to have more conversation about a better future for all the girls. Not necessarily about who they are, where are they from, how they look like, or what they wear. Thank you very much, and please, you are welcome to ask any questions after that brilliant girl is going to say her speech or her talk about her experience as a refugee Muslim woman. Thank you so much.
I love to listen to you, and I hope that you and I will have opportunities for conversation. I think there's a rich, rich future possible if we can just find the time, right? It's time that's the challenge. All right, some of you know this, others of you don't. It's 2.5 years ago, at Halloween, that Molly's family invited Santa's family to come and celebrate Halloween. First time, new holiday, new country. The family had been in Canada for 1 month. 1 month and 10 days. And Santa said, I have no idea what you're talking about, and yes, we'd like to come. The challenge, yes, the challenge was that they didn't have a car. And Kathy, who had a big enough car, needed to be at home getting ready for these folks. So Kathy called and said, Sharon, would you go and pick them up because I have a big enough vehicle? And I had been panting to meet the family, but hadn't yet. So I said, oh, no. No, I didn't. I said, yes, definitely, I would be pleased. And I went, and I picked them up, and I brought them over to Molly's, and we did the Halloween thing, and we did the fireworks, and we had conversation, and there was lots of checking on the phone to translate, or Santa translating. And on the way home afterwards, Lemise said, how do we get better in English? Shouldn't say it that way, but it was close. And I said, practice. They said, practice, practice. Started on the phone, figured it out, practice. So I've had the gift of visiting with them once a week for all that time, except for the last little while. We've been not quite so frequent. So Santa is my honorary granddaughter, and I'm so pleased to invite her to come forward now and speak to us. And I'm just going to remind you, that's good. Can everyone hear me? Perfect. All right.
a Syrian refugee. I am one of 6 kids in my family. You might have heard a lot, read a lot, help us the refugees in different ways, but most of the time people don't know our stories and don't hear our narratives from us. Thank you for being here, not to fundraise, or give money, or donate. Thank you for coming this evening just to listen to me and to young women that might look like me, but we all have different journeys and different experiences. I am 16 years old, and my life turned upside down when I was 9 years old. I was a 9-year-old child who would only think of children's game and getting good marks at school. A child that the sound of a thunderstorm would make her run to her mom to hide. And her most fear was to miss doing her homework. At 9, I started a horrible journey of fear. The sound of bombs, screams, ambulances, crying, the smell of death were everywhere. And that became my daily routine. At that age, nothing made sense to me. I only feared there was no place that could make me feel safe or take away the fear I had. My whole life changed since the war started. My peaceful life turned into a nightmare. I won't forget the day our home was destroyed. My family and I became homeless, no shelter, no roof over our heads. We lost the home we were born in, the home we were used to play, pray, laugh. We lost everything, even the photos that would keep our memorable moments alive. That loss was very painful. But we were thankful that we didn't lose our lives. My parents' concerns at that time was just to keep us safe and take us far from that hell. My parents tried their best to keep us safe and safely escape from Syria to Lebanon. And we became refugees there. Being a refugee in Lebanon was very hard. There was cultural differences, and the situations between the two countries wasn't that good, and our life wasn't much better there. My family could afford to rent an apartment, and my dad worked so hard to make sure we can attend a private school, as we were not allowed to attend public schools. I can consider myself, luckily, privileged, because we were not living in a refugee camp. But I was feeling a lot of pain at the sight of so many Syrian children sleeping in the streets under the rain, on the ground, while they tried to sell cigarette boxes to feed their families. A sense, a scene that will haunt me forever. A scene that reminds me that nothing should be taken for granted. All these children had homes, families, school. They were running and playing with their friends, and they lost everything. Many lost their parents. Both of my parents were trying to make us feel safe, just like when we were in Syria, before the war. At the age of 10, I started losing hope of going back to Syria. After hearing the news about Syria, I had nothing else to care about other than my family and education. I was afraid that I would lose my family one day. They were and still make everything in my life. I can't imagine my life without them. They're very important to me. I always reminded all the time that the only way to survive is to continue my education. We spent 5 years there. I faced all kinds of bullying and discrimination. It was a tough journey. And my parents started looking for other options to escape. After we applied for coming as refugees to Canada, a hope started growing again, of having a better future. We waited for a quite long time. Every day was bringing new challenges. My faith, my family were helping me to stay strong, focused, and hopeful. I came to Canada at the end of 2016. My cousins who helped us to get here were welcoming us with our sponsorship family at the airport. We didn't know a lot about Canada. The only thing that was important is Canada is safe, and people there are friendly and nice. The trip was long, but it was very exciting. We were all scared. My parents were wondering, how would they start from zero? Their student degrees, jobs, experiences would be nothing in Canada. They were looking at us, thinking of us, of our safety and future, and they believed it is worth all the sacrifices. I started school on the 5th day of our arrival. It was very hard for us. We could barely understand English, we couldn't really make conversations, and communicate with others. We didn't feel safe on the first couple of weeks. Everyone looked very strange, although they all were very nice and they all were smiling. The culture is very different. Dad wasn't working. Mom was trying to comfort all of us. I thought making friends would make me feel better, which was true. My friends supported me on the first few weeks as a newcomer. At the beginning, I didn't feel like that I belonged to this community or culture. I felt that I came to their own country. I started this school journey with fear. God, afraid, cautious. Things were overwhelming. The quizzes, the language, the graduation requirements, the celebrations. Everything was very new and strange. It is the support of the school's teachers and the staff, the principal. They all had me, and so many like me started feeling a certain comfort. I was telling myself, these people are trying to help us, and we will survive. The principal was supporting us. Miss Layla was organizing events to help us. Mr. Wall was always welcoming and supportive. The teachers were offering their help. I started feeling safe. I was so focused on my education, learning English, and proving that as a Muslim girl, as a refugee, I'll be able to have a better future. This is what brought my parents here, and I will never forget that. In the school, I saw many girls like me, wearing their hijabs. It gave me a sense of community, a sense of being able to be Muslim and Canadian. I started feeling comfortable making friends from different backgrounds. There is a sense of respect that we feel at school, and we rarely feel it elsewhere. After 2 years, I'm out of ELL program, and I'm doing great at school. My religion is the one of the biggest part of my identity. I'm always proud of myself as a Muslim girl. I sometimes feel lucky that I'm here in Canada, and I'm lucky to be at that school. But unfortunately, a sense of fear is always with me. The incidents of Islamophobia are increasing in Canada. I'm afraid that someone would pull my hijab off or get bullied. I'm worried that I graduate but I won't find it, or I won't be able to get to university. I'm afraid I won't find a good job because I'm wearing a hijab. I'm afraid of so many things. My father is working now. My mom is still struggling with her English, even my dad. But my faith, prayers, and my parents' encouragement help me to stay hopeful, to achieve and to be able to achieve my goal. My dream is to become a medical doctor, to contribute to this community, to give and support to the needy. And I'm working hard to achieve that. Reflecting on my journey, myself, my faith, my identity, started when I met Miss Neela. And she introduced the project for my friends and I. For the first time, I had been offered an opportunity to speak. It was the first time I felt that my perspective, my story, my voice is important and people can be interested in listening to it. The Photo Voice Project is a project where I can express myself and get my voice heard and get others to feel what I went through and what other refugees are going through today. To see the challenges, the dreams, and who we are. I had such a great time taking photographs, discussing with my friends, meeting with Miss Neela and the group. We had become friends despite our different backgrounds. And we went through different journeys. We were making decisions and we were involved in all the steps. It was a great moment when we organized the school exhibition. From being an unknown refugee, we became at the center of the school, showing our work to everybody, feeling proud that we are able to speak through photographs. I could hear my friends' voice through their photos. I could understand what they went through. This project created a strong connection between the whole group. This project gave me a chance to reflect on my life, my journey, and my identity. A special thank you to my mom, dad, and my sisters for supporting me and always getting my back. And a special thank you goes to Miss Neela for showing us how to speak without the language, for being so supportive and showed us that we deserve the best, for keeping her promise that we will visit UBC one day so you can work hard enough to get into that university. I would also like to thank Ms. Layla, Ms. Meathers, and Mr. Sarge for the great support they provided us with. I would like to thank Mrs. Sharon and Mary for organizing the event today. I'd also like to thank Kathy for joining us and Molly for being such a great friend. I would even like to thank all of you for coming tonight, and I would also like to thank Knox County Church for having us tonight and having all of our pictures. The last thank you would be for whoever sponsored and supported this project checker. Thank you so much.